How do I, 23F, get my boyfriend, 28M, to finally stop hurting me as a joke or act of love? We have been together for over 3 years now. I don't even know where to start. My boyfriend keeps physically hurting me, and I feel so tired and confused. I've asked him over and over again to stop, but he doesn't. He doesn't take me seriously. He slaps me on the head when I make a mistake. He bites me so hard that I have bruises all over my neck, shoulders, and back. He hits my back/legs so hard it's sore for hours. He twists my arms painfully. He squeezes and twists my fingers. Right now one of my fingers can barely bend, and he knows I need my hands for work tomorrow. Sometimes he even does this when I'm cooking with hot oil or using a knife, like pinching my upper arm when I'm holding something sharp. If you don't know, that spot hurts like hell when being pinched, and your reflexes will kick in to fold the hand so. Yeah, dangerous. I've cried from the pain so many times and told him to stop. He knows it hurts me, and he still does it. When I cry when he hurts me too much, he apologizes in this victim way, like, sorry bro, I won't do anything anymore, I'll just keep to myself. I will just mind my own business. But if I don't act happy and forgive him right away, he gets angry and yells that I'm making a big deal out of nothing, that he already apologized, and that I'm pushing it too far. He acts like he's the victim of my drama. He calls all of this teasing or jokes. But it's not a joke. I'm covered in bruises, sore, and exhausted. I feel like no matter how many times I ask him to stop, he doesn't listen. He gets cocky, acts like I'm the problem, and I'm so tired. I don't know what to do anymore. I don't want to live like this. He says that the bites is how he shows love, but I have so many huge bruises all over me, and it's so sore. Lifting heavy stuff at work is so much harder for me. He's abusing you. Break up with him. So this is abuse. And you can file charges for him slapping your head and biting you so hard there are bruises, and incapacitating your literal fingers. Document it. Get out of the situation now. It will get worse over time, not better. Please reach out to people in your life who can help you. Honest question, are you not able to leave the relationship? Because saying, I don't know what to do, when the only obvious answer is leave, cut ties, and possibly even file a restraining order. I need to understand what's stopping you. You're being abused. If this is real, you need to leave. How can you possibly think him hurting you to the extent that you can't even bend your finger anymore is an abuse? You don't. You stay and continue to be abused, or you leave your abuser. He doesn't care that he hurts you. He enjoys it. P.S. You need to read Why Does He Do That by Lundy Bancroft. Here is a free PDF. It's a look inside the minds of angry and controlling men. My husband, 28M, told me he doesn't lust after me, 24F, and doesn't see me as a woman. My husband, 28M, and I, 24F, have been together for 6 years and married for almost 2 years. He used to go crazy for me when we were dating. He couldn't stop doing and talking sexual things with me, and I enjoyed it we didn't go all the way before marriage and kept it for marriage. So I thought we were going to have amazing sex together when married, but I was so wrong. The first months of our marriage was the worst. We had sex like once or twice a month as a newlywed young couple. I thought it's okay, maybe we both need some time to get used to it. But it never improved. Usually, we have sex like once a week, and it is not enough for me and I don't enjoy it. For some reason I also know it is not enough for him too. I feel like he's holding himself back and doesn't let himself go. When I dress up, with sexy lingeries, he barely makes any reaction, and one time he even laughed and asked, "Why are you wearing this?" when I surprised him with lingerie at the door. Oh, I felt so stupid and humiliated. One time I gathered all my courage and asked him the reason why. He said, "I don't know, you're too pure in my eyes. You're too innocent, like an angel, like a baby. I love you as if you're my baby girl. I cherish you so much, and I'm afraid of hurting you. When we're doing it, I feel like I'm doing something bad to you." Exactly his words. Some time later, we had a fight. He said that he doesn't see me as a woman and rather like his daughter. To him, it's because I'm too naive and fragile. He even said that I have no confidence, and I look like a loser sometimes from the outside. What he said was true to some extent. I've always been a good girl and calm and easygoing with everyone. I'm an introvert and I don't enjoy talking to everyone as if we are besties. But he is an extrovert and easily talks to everyone at first sight, and everyone loves him but me. I'm the quiet, weird girl beside him. And since I'm lacking social skills, I've always thought I'm not confident. Anyways, then I decided to change. I got into therapy and trying to be more confident and talkative, and not trying to be a good girl anymore. And yes, I've changed. Even people around us noticed my energy was different. So I've changed, but our intimacy still hasn't changed, and I feel like accepting the fact that our sexual life will not be fun and satisfying ever and stop trying hard for him. I also noticed he tends to only feel lust to me is when he imagines me with other men. I don't mind this kind of kinks, but it feels weird when it's the only time he feels lust and perform better while doing it. Is this normal among men? What do you think about my situation, and what would you suggest? I love him, and I know he loves me too. We don't usually even fight at all. It was the first time we did, but the words he said is still lingering in my head. The angel/baby/daughter thing is gross and honestly concerning. It's not just a sex issue, it's a fundamental lack of respect for you as a woman and a partner. You deserve someone who sees you as both lovable and desirable, not someone infantilizing you. I find it quite odd that he dated you when you were freshly 18, and now he continues to enshrine you in this angelic pure role. Feels like a fucked up fetish. So hold on. He feels like sex is doing something bad to you, and said he sees you like a daughter, but what turns him on is thinking of other men fucking you. Girl, listen close. Do you not see how messed up that structure is? This guy's mental relationship with sex, and possibly women, is fucked. He's blaming you, but I'd bet money this is just deflection because he doesn't know how to make sense of what's in his own head. I'd strongly encourage you to insist he puts some time and probably professional help into rewiring what's going on in there, because the math ain't matting. He has a Madonna/WH at Recomplex. Elvis Presley famously had it. I don't know that therapy will help. Not normal. I see my wife in a sexual manner, and I don't get turned on by the idea of other guys lusting after her. The latter is a kink, so I admit it's just not my thing, but the former is the norm. This feels like major purity culture issues. I'm guessing you both were very religious growing up, and probably still are. A lot of people have a hard time going from, all sex is bad and shouldn't be done outside marriage, to I'm married and I'm allowed to have sex with my partner. I would recommend individual therapy for him to address it. Is it normal for my husband, M35, to make me, F31, feel really bad for this? So my husband, M35, and I, F31, have been together for 12 years. Overall, we have a great relationship, but since I've never been with anyone else long-term, I wonder if certain things are normal in a relationship. I, like many women, get some hair on my upper lip. I'm pretty diligent in removing it because I don't like it. The ultimate plan is to get laser removal, but I've only recently stopped breastfeeding, so it's in the future to do basket. Anyway, as I said, I'm diligent in removing the hair, and to be clear, it's not like a full-on mustache or anything, but can be noticeable if you're looking closely. Today we were walking somewhere, and he noticed that I had some hair there that is not removed. I was honest and said I totally forgot in the shower this morning, and I thought that would be the end of it, but he got quite angry and told me I need to keep on top of it, and that it's disgusting, and he's sick of bringing this up. The last time this came up was months and months ago, so it's really not like I'm forgetting every day. I apologized and promised to get it sorted as soon as we're home, but I'm not wondering, is this the common reaction of all men? I know it's gross, and it's not something I want to have on my face either, but I feel like the reaction was a bit extreme. Would I be wrong to bring this up to him? To his credit, he did apologize for upsetting me, but doesn't think he was out of line for the actual comments. So let me get this straight. He's mad at his wife, who had a baby not too long ago, about shaving/waxing her upper lip? He has no right to ask you to do anything to your body, not even mentioning getting mad. I'm so sorry. A man who actually likes you would never. No, this is not normal. That isn't normal at all, and frankly, your guy sounds like he sucks. I wouldn't even consider my partner to be a nice person in general, but he giggles when I tell him I finally shaved the statch. I'd be willing to bet he often cuts you down in other ways too. Do with that what you will. No, this is not normal, and I'm sorry he's speaking to you in such a nasty way over something so completely trivial. I don't really have any advice because I'm not sure how to deal with this, but I wanted to let you know that you don't have to put up with this. It's so annoying that men can be hairy as fuck, but when it comes to a girl we have to shave almost all of our bodies. Maybe let the stash grow and tell him to go F himself. Maybe take a picture of it and send it to him every now and then. If you can't laugh about this together, what the fuck are you doing with him? Maybe find a man who's gonna love all of you, including your stash, when you forget about shaving its smiling face with hearts. I, 21F, want to break up with a girl, 23F, over going to the food pantry. Okay, so here is the context. I, 21F, have been dating Amelia, 23F, for a few weeks now, but after the conversation we had last night, I don't know if I can continue to see her. For background, I have been poor for most of my life. I moved out at 18 to escape a bad home situation, and I have lived below the poverty line since then. I worked my way up from nothing, and now I have an apartment, a stable job I love, and I'm going to college. It's not much, but it's very meaningful for me because I work hard for everything I have. Amelia comes from a very different background. On our first date, one of the first things I learned about was that her mom was a doctor and stupid rich. But they didn't get along since she cut her off, but the thing was, she wasn't cut off? She and her sister live in a very nice townhouse in the city that their mother bought for them. She gave her a very nice car, and has agreed to continue paying her college tuition, after one term of not doing so. Semi-recently, Amelia has been fired from her job. The reason was not her fault, and could be discriminatory, but it still stands that she has been out of work for a while. I totally get that. It's happened to me before, and it sucks. So I've been more than happy to let her air her frustrations and process the situation. As an important note, one thing she has been complaining about regularly is that her fun money fund has been dwindling. The other day she texted me a picture of a sandwich, saying essentially, look at this giant sandwich I scored at the food pantry. And I was basically taken a bit aback. The way I was raised, the food pantry was absolutely a last resort, reserved for the most vulnerable members of society who truly needed it. As an adult, I have never gone. I was on food stamps for a considerable time when I first moved out, and I am considering reapplying since I will be only working part-time to accommodate my school schedule, but I have never gone to food pantry. I may be wrong, but in my mind it's a finite resource reserved for those who absolutely need it, like struggling families, the homeless, senior citizens, etc. So, when she came over last night, I thought I should talk to her about it, because maybe she didn't know. She grew up fairly privileged and sheltered, so I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt. I asked her how long she had been going to the food pantry, and she admitted she had been going for a while. Even before, when she had a job and her mom was paying all her bills. This shocked me. To me, that's a vital community resource she was taking advantage of for shits and giggles. As kindly as I could, I told her I was planning on reapply for food stamps, and asked if she had considered that as an alternative. She said she had never thought about doing that before. I recommended it, and essentially told her I was not sure if she was aware, but the food pantry is typically a last resort for very strenuous circumstances. She got all quiet for a while after that, and I don't know if it sunk in. It weirdly made me feel like she thought food stamps were below her, or maybe more complicated than just going and picking up free food. But it rubbed me the wrong way. In general, she can be a bit inconsiderate in an oblivious way. I don't think it's malicious. She just hasn't had a lot of real-world experiences, so she's a bit ungrounded in reality. One time, I was really excited to play one of my favorite card games with her, but she didn't want to. She said it gave her PTSD because she played it on an awkward, bad date a long time ago. She kept playing into that joke, knowing that I have diagnosed PTSD and struggle with regularly, especially earlier that week. We had talked about it, and she knew. It's a minute, social faux pas, but it seems to be becoming a pattern. I don't know if I have the extra bandwidth to explain these social rules to her continuously, when she doesn't seem receptive to correction. I'm not sure if I am overreacting, or just bitter about our different backgrounds, but I think I want to break up with her. But I need some advice on how to do it in a tactful way. Especially since she is very attached to me, and I don't want to hurt her unnecessarily. What's the best way of going about it? Edit. A lot of people were asking, so I thought I would clarify. We live in a very Republican rural state with severely limited human services. Food pantries are typically locally funded, and it's a severely limited resource. SNAP benefits, on the other hand, are federally funded and not dependent on the strained local support systems. They're also typically based on income, so I think she might qualify for them if she applied, since she's currently unemployed. I have more of an issue with the fact that she was using the food pantry while employed, with no bills, so she could have more money for fun stuff. And that she still has money saved, but chooses to spend it on video games or workout classes instead of food. Also, Opie, it sounds like you need to break open some of the shame or concerns you have about going to the food pantry if you are struggling. It's there to help you not struggle. You have different worldviews and backgrounds. Maybe they are incompatible. Maybe not. But your martyrdom over the food pantry is misplaced. Perhaps she didn't need to use it, but the food pantry is more than capable of screening people to see if they qualify, if that pantry even has thresholds. Some do, some don't. But more importantly, if you are struggling and need food stamps, you should absolutely take advantage of the food pantry. It's literally there to make your day-to-day struggle just a little easier. It's not only for people who are on the verge of starving to death. This is classic rich people shit, OP. The cultural barrier between people who grew up poor and people who live rich lifestyles can be absolutely insane, and you're experiencing it firsthand right now. Personally, I wouldn't get over this. It's just such a gross show of true character. Depending where you are, some food pantries are actually very well supplied and actively encourage anyone experiencing any level of good insecurity to come. So it's possible that this transgression isn't as grave as it feels. It's up to you if you want to think about it more with her, or if you find it unforgivable regardless. You don't have to be her tour guide to the real world. My vote is to break up with her. I don't understand why you think food stamps are okay, but not a food pantry. Taking her out of the picture, you are on food stamps, but you differentiate that from the food pantry?